Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Beastly Eel, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about the latest episode of Agatha All Along. If you have not seen this episode, there are major spoilers ahead, so make sure to pause the video, watch the episode, or if you don't care, or if you've already seen it, let's get right into it. So we have um, the episode starts off kind of right where the last one ended, where it's the end of the second trial and they're kind of all just waiting around. However, they all start to feel the presence of other creatures coming into the witch's road. So what happens is the Salem Seven have made it to the Witch's Road. Apparently, they were able to use the portal that was used to bring the Green Witch in, because it was never closed, and they were able to crawl themselves in. There also has seven different animals, and I'm not quite sure why. Maybe they're supposed to be like the seven sins. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not familiar with animals being associated with, the seven deadly sins or anything like that. But anyway, and let's get right into that piece. So they are obviously transformed back into humanoid bodies, and they begin to go after the group. While the group begins to freak out, they begin to run away. As they do so, they seem to be surrounded by them. So the team states that they should make brooms, and then they all protest, and then finally they decide to do it. Apparently, it's a whole thing that it's a corporate thing that witches use brooms, and they feel like it's outdated. Very, very much hilariousness, but also ridiculousness because they're being chased by, I would think, monsters, right? So anyway, they make their broomsticks and they take off. So they continue to fly away from all of these all the Salem Seven. So they begin to move around. Unfortunately, the Witch's Road pulls them back down because they're getting close to the next trial. When they get down there, they're met by one of the Salem Seven, which apparently is like a beetle or bug. When they slam into them, they turn into a bunch of different beetles, and they get to the third trial and open the door and go right in. Apparently, the Salem Seven cannot go in during the trials. They could probably go around the trials, but they cannot go into the trial. This trial apparently is for Agatha. The reason for it is because the moon is considered a blood moon, where the connection between the living and the dead are at its thinnest, and that is Agatha's specialty. So the idea is they go through the whole room. They're very much 80s vibes. They're all dressed like they're in the 80s. So they go through it, blah, blah, blah. They find a Ouija board and they have to talk to the dead. So the rules are they can't let go of the triangle or the viewing circle, I guess is the best way to phrase it, or else a spirit will be released, and they keep going in that direction. And they're also not allowed to talk over each other, and they are to, I forgot what it was, something else. I can't think of it now. Anyway, it does not matter right this second. So Agatha begins to begins to talk to the dead. It starts to make it seem like Mrs. Hart is the one they're talking to. They let go. Agatha makes a joke that she's being possessed by Mrs. Hart. Nobody believes her except for the teen. They try again, and that's when it's Death stating that Agatha needs to suffer. Specifically, needs to be punished. So Agatha lets go, and the thing continues to go on and on and on, spinning, right? And that's when Agatha gets possessed by a ghost and begins to wreak havoc on the group and tries to kill them one by one. The lights get turned on. Agatha gets saved because of the light, and it turns out her mother was the one that was possessing her. And the ghost of her mother appears, explaining to the group that they are going to need to make Agatha punished. Um, at one point, she even states that she should have removed Agatha from existence after she had left her body, which is so messed up. Anyway, Agatha and her have a huge confrontation between the two. She tries to talk her way out of it. That's when Agatha's mother possesses her once again, and that's when um, Alice shoots her magic to protect Agatha. the magic is used to um, bounce the ghost out of Agatha. Agatha then absorbs all of Alice's power, and Alice is laid on the ground dead. However, Agatha stops before absorbing, I think, all of the power, because what happened next was the team was looking at the Ouija board and saw the name Nicholas Chase? Nicholas something, which is the name of her son, and that stopped Agatha in her tracks. Now, Alice still died, but I'm not 100% sure if all of her power was taken away. So it's also during this point where we lose track of the Green Witch. Soon as she sees Agatha take power again, she begins to go away. In fact, disappears for the rest of the episode. Because the team freaks out at Agatha, tell them to get away, and that they now have to leave. They now had to leave, and so Agatha leaves. The other two tell the team that they should go, and he's like, "But she's," and there's like, "There's nothing we can do. We can't bring her back," and so they leave. So now it's just Agatha, um, Lila, Jenna, and the team. We don't see the Green Witch anywhere. So during this, he tries to the teen tries to convince Agatha that she was in the wrong, and she's like, I couldn't control it, and he's like, you could control it, you know better. And that's when she's like, you know what? You're of all people think that magic isn't meant to kill people, and yet you clearly don't know your mother. And that means she knows exactly who this teen is. And that's when the teen starts to use this magic. It's blue, which is very similar to Wiccans, which is exactly what's supposed to be who he's supposed to be. So he then uses his magic to control Jen and Lilia, and they grab Agatha and throw her off the witch's road, and she gets absorbed into the ground. After that's done, he blasts the two other witches off the road into the ground, and they are sucked in. And that's when we all of a sudden wake up to the teen with a crown very similar to Scarlet Witch's, um, oozing with power. And that, my friends, is how the episode ends. So I have no idea where the next episode is going to go. Um, I definitely don't think anybody's. I don't think the three witches he threw into the um, off the road are actually dead. I honestly thought Scarlet Witch was going to be the one who runs the Witch's Road, but I'm now questioning that maybe he does. So I'm very curious on that piece just because of how what he did right then and there, and the fact that he's got his crown. So I'm very curious to see what's going to happen with that. Overall, this episode was incredible. I mean, there's 4 episodes left, and I am not confident I know where this series is going to go now. I mean, Billy's the bad guy, just like his mom, and I'm kind of shocked. So we're gonna have to wait till next week, and I'm, you know, I'm, I'm just shocked. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm just actually shocked because this was so well done, and I can't get over how well it was done. And also not expecting him to turn that way, but especially at the death of Alice, the only one who was kind of really nice to him. So I'm very curious on that one. Yeah. So I mean, incredible. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode down in the comments below. Did you like it? Did you not? And why? Tell me why you didn't like it because I'll tell you you're wrong. But overall, incredible episode. And as always, if you like the content you see, please make sure to like and subscribe down below. Other than that, this is going to be Beastly Eel signing out. Have a great night. Bye.